Alright, hi Tubies. Sorry it's been a while since I've done another video, but now I got some subscribers, so I figured I better do something. I haven't had a whole lot of computer time with this cool computer that has a webcam. My computer sucks in comparison. Uh, Freak Phil here, with my take on the Wiccan Rede. Uh, and first thing about me, I don't tend to waste time saying anything that anybody else has said. If somebody else has said it, I don't bother repeating it. If somebody has my take on things already, I don't see why I should just preach to the choir. The only reason I have my rant about the Wiccan Rede is because I find that it's not something that's said anywhere else. Fact. The Wiccan Rede was adopted as a policy in the 1974 Minneapolis witch meet, where the American Council of Witches decided to adopt it as part of this new religion for witchcraft that became Wicca. Wicca was a PR campaign, quite frankly, a way to give the word witch a different name that didn't evoke such negativity. You know, the Wizard of Oz, Hansel and Gretel, all this shit came up in people's mind when they said the word witch. So instead they came up with the word Wicca, which at least put a question mark in the average person's mind. It's like, oh, I don't know what that is. I don't know whether I should hate that yet or not. Well, in addition to Wicca, uh, also the adopting of things like the Wiccan Rede were seen as a good idea. Anything to keep people from being scared of witches. That was the bottom line. Because the fear that comes up with the fear of witches, I mean, witches allegedly can do anything. So if you're afraid of somebody that can do anything, and nothing's impossible, well, you can become quite paranoid. So they tried to come up with ways that people wouldn't be as paranoid, and they came up with these rules. And the Wiccan Rede was invented and adopted and maybe adapted from the Hippocratic Oath or something like that. The Wiccan Rede states very clearly, "Any harm none, do what thou wilt." There's a long version, but nobody agreed to the long version. The 1974 witch meat was the one that people agreed to, at least. Um, but the long version is some invention that somebody else came up with that nobody really agreed to. 8 words the Wiccan Rede fulfill, harm ye none, do what you will, blobbity, 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 blah, blah, blah. Whatever. No, no, really, I'm not really going to tell you what I follow, but I have a lot of thoughts on these things. First of all, I'm Strega, and I was a witch before there was a Wicca, so I was not in Minneapolis. Probably wouldn't go there, so I never agreed to that. Um, the Wiccan Rede is a marvelous idea, kind of, if you want to reach spiritual fulfillment under a band-aid. It's a rule to keep you in line to make you do the right thing. Now, if you only do the right thing because there's a rule and you're going to be punished for it, then you're not a spiritually evolved being and you've done nothing. It's like the Ten Commandments or something. These rules to keep people in line, and if you don't stay in line, God's going to punish you. Well, as a witch, I have to see past that, and as an anarchist, I have to see way past that. As an anarchist, I know that the word anarchy means self-government. To the ignorant, it means no government, but that is the ignorant. It's anybody that doesn't need a cop to tell them what to do. Now, I don't want to harm anyone because it's not a good thing to harm people, and I just don't want to go around hurting people because that's just not right. Not because I'm afraid of getting zapped by the Wiccan Rede. Uh, I don't find that the Wiccan Rede is valid. In practice, I see plenty of people doing evil. I run into plenty of witches. I've been a professional witch for about 15 years, working in witchcraft stores, and I own my own witch store, and I meet all kinds. And I gotta say, there's plenty of people out there doing evil that get away with it. There's plenty of people out there doing bad things that get away with it. So much for your fucking rules. That's the problem. We need to evolve because we're better than that. We need to not hurt each other because it's just not right. It's just not what we want to do. It's not what our spirit's calling us to. So whether or not the Wiccan Rede is right or whether it's wrong, I think it's weak. I think it's weak to just keep people in line by scaring them, by forcing them, by threat, by fear. I'm a witch. I will have no part of it. I'm sure I have much more to say about that, but I don't really know how long I can make a video for. I think it's got to be under 10 minutes or something like that. So maybe more later. All right, tubies. Maybe meet again. Go away.